Hello, beta. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session. The session that I'm going to take today is called as Yakeen. And in this session, we usually go ahead and cover questions that are basically asked in your ISI MSQE paper. Let us try to look at one of the questions, beta. It says, the number of elements in the set, you're given this set, and you need to tell how many elements come in this set. Quite an interesting question. Let us try to solve this. So the set is defined such that x plus 2y plus 3z is equal to 42. All x, y, and z should be greater than equal to 0. But what you are also given is that z belongs to z. And since you're given that z belongs to z, it actually goes ahead and means that z needs to be an integer, positive integer. It cannot be a decimal, right? So we already go ahead and we already know this thing. Now, this is a very interesting question because you need to go ahead and take different values of z to go ahead and solve this question. So we go ahead and we begin by understanding that let z be equal to 0, right? That's the first thing that can happen. So if I now just go ahead and I take z is equal to 0, I will get x plus 2y is equal to 42. And that would be my case number 1 that I have taken here, where I have x plus 2y is equal to 42. This is my first case that I have. Now, the question is that it says, what are the number of elements in this set where x plus 2y is equal to 42. How many such cases can you go ahead and can you build around this thing? The good part is that if you go ahead and you really realize this thing, it says x comma y comma z belongs to the integers. And all three of them are positive. So which means that x and y can also take integer values, right? They can also be just positive integers. So now what I need to go ahead and do is I am given an equation. My equation is x plus 2y equal to 42. And I need to understand how many cases can be built in a way such that the sum of x and y is 42, right? Am I clear with it? Now just try to understand that when y will be 0, right? X will be 42, right? And when x will be 0, y will be 21, right? So if I were to go ahead and build a line around it, I can go ahead and have 42 here and I can have 21 here and I can just get this line around. And y can take 21 values. Are you understanding it? And for every value y it takes, I fix the value of y, I get one unique value of x. So if I fix the value of y at 0, I get x as 42. If I fix the value of y as 1, I will get some value of x. But I cannot reverse engineer it. I cannot say, okay, if I fix the value of x, what y will be? Because just try to understand. Suppose I fix the value of x at 41. So 41 plus 2y is equal to 42. So I will get 2y is equal to 1 and y will be half. But y cannot be half. I need it to be a positive integer. I cannot go ahead and have that as a decimal value, right? So since I cannot have that as a decimal value, I cannot go ahead and I cannot say, let me fix x and find out what y will be. But I can do the reverse. I can put different y's on my number line and I can try to understand what x will be because I am moving y across the number line. So I say, okay, when y is 0, x will be 42. When y is 1, x will be some number here. Are you understanding it? And that number will be an integer number in this case. So when I go ahead and I say, okay, let y be 1, right? I know that x plus 2 is 42. So I know x will be 40. So for different values of y, as I go across this number line, I will get different values of x, which will be non-decimals. Try to understand. They will be pure integers, right? So y can take value 0, 1, 2, and so on till 21. Which means in total, y can take 22 values. And correspondingly, x will also have 22 values. So there will be 22 such cases which can be formulated. Am I making sense? So this is your case number 1. It is a very, very good question. Very good question. Believe me, such question can also be part of ISI MSQE PEB because it's a big question to think about. Right? Now you start thinking around the line when z is 1. right? So if I just go ahead and I just plug Z as 1 in this case, what will I get? X plus 2y plus 3z is equal to 42. X plus 2y plus 3 is equal to 42. X plus 2y is equal to 39. Again, you can just go ahead and try to formulate it. So when y is 0, x is 39. And when x is 0, y is 39 divided by 2. And 39 divided by 2 can be written as 18.5. 19.5, right? And I can just join it. Y has to be an integer. Y cannot be 19.5. Try to understand this thing. So y has to be an integer. And now I need to find out how many such cases will be there such that x plus y is 29, is 39, but both of them stand to be integer. So one case that can be formulated is when I take y to be 19. So the moment I take y to be 19, I will get x to be 1, right? And then I can just plug different integer values of y. I can take y to be 18, 17, and so on till 0. And I will get different integer values of x. So I will see that x will always come out as an integer, non-decimal. And at the same time, y will be taking only integer values. Y is taking the value 19, 18, 17, and so on till 0. Are you understanding this point? So you will realize that total 19, 18, 17, starting from y as 1 and 0, total y can take 20 values. So there will be 20 such integer values that y can go ahead and take, and thereby x can also take 20 such values. I am leaving this up to you. I hope you will be able to go ahead and do this now. Take this as a homework. Spend some half an hour on this. Try to see what happens when you take z as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep taking different values of z and keep solving it around. Right? Then add those cases together and you will see that the total number of cases will come out as 169. And that would be the answer to this question. Am I clear with it? So the number of cases possible in this case will be 169. I hope I am clear to you. I hope the question is absolutely making sense. Let me do one more case with you. It will make things easier for me. Let's take a random case. Let's take z to be 8. So x plus 2y plus 3z is 42. And z is 8. So x plus 2y plus 3, 8 is 42. X plus 2y plus 24 is 42. X plus 2y is 42 minus 24. Right? So this is going to be 80. Right? Now, this is my x, y. Either x will be 18 or y will be 9. Now you can do it this. So when y is 9, x is 0. When y is 8, you will get some value. 7, you will get some value. Some integer value. Still y can be 0. So y can take the value 9, 8, 7, and so on till 0. How many values? 10. So correspondingly, how many values of x? 10. So there will be 10 cases. Once you start doing this, you can also sometimes realize the pattern formed. But I really don't want you to take risk. Like for example, here I'm going from 22, 20, 19, 17, 16. Right? The gap is 1 each. So 22 plus 20. And then the gap goes to 19. And then 17. And then 16. So if you can form the pattern that, okay, I see that here the gap is of 2. And then the gap is of 1. And then the gap is of 2. And then the gap is of 1. And then from 16, I'm going to 14. So gap is of 2 and then 1. And then 2 and then 1. If you can just formulate this pattern, then nothing like that. Right? So then you don't have to go till the end. right? After 2-3 cases, if you look at the pattern, so you can just form the cases that 22 plus 20 plus 19 plus 17 plus 16, then you know the pattern. But otherwise, you should go ahead and solve it completely once, right? Okay, beta, I hope you liked the question. You learned something new today. I will go ahead and meet you in the next session. Thank you.